What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 6 of Ghosts Aren't Real, a podcast where we dive into the paranormal, discuss our thoughts about it, and our experiences with it.
This week, we are going to be talking about our experience at the Wheeler Hole in Forsyth, Missouri, which is just a nice little part of forest in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's
not even really forest.
Yeah.
There's some trees. It's mainly fields.
It's a fishing hole.
It's a fishing hole. It's fields separated by lines of trees.
And it's in the middle of nowhere. Because who knows where Forsyth, Missouri is? Forsyth, Missouri.
Probably not a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the Wheeler Hole, we first heard about this place from one of our coworkers who talked about it being kind of a, I guess like a hangout and party spot as high schoolers and the like do. They just hang out in the middle of nowhere. But they said that things, just like weird things would always happen there. They said that one time they drove up there and there was a car that was already there. And it had is it a cross or just a
It was a cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just a cross hanging down from the mirror and like the entire car was vibrating and the cross was swinging back and forth. And I can't remember if like the windows were down or anything, but like it wasn't windy out or anything like that. But the car was just shaking and swinging. And then didn't he say that one of his friends went there like by himself one time? Mm-hmm. And like he thought he saw like an old Indian chief like off in the distance. So there's kind of a spot where a lot of weird things have happened. And then we actually did some digging into the history of it. And it turns out that there was this guy named Alf Bolin back in the Civil War era who was just an overall bad dude. Like while everybody else was off kind of fighting the war, he stayed back and took advantage of the women and children that were left behind and pillaged and did all kinds of things. So there was a bounty put out on him. And bounty hunters found him, but instead of taking his body back to claim the reward, they just cut off his head and took the head as proof that they got him and buried his headless body like pretty close to actually where we were. Like within a mile, I think, is where it's reportedly to have been buried. So it was kind of strange finding that out after hearing like a couple stories from one of our friends, and actually hearing that there was some pretty good history behind it. You know?
Yeah, dude. Backwoods, weird stuff.
Yeah.
Was that the 1800s or early 1900s?
Late 1800s, like 1870s, 1880s.
Some weird times. I mean, I remember them like they were yesterday.
So, anyways, we went there and I don't want to say that we didn't have the best instructions, but
we had no idea where we were going.
This is true.
First time.
All we heard was that there was like this big hill and a long road and
Woods and water.
Yeah. So we went there one night we were out there for what, probably 2 or 3 hours, maybe
4.
Was it 4 hours?
Just round it up, yeah.
Nice. 4 hours. Didn't really do a whole lot because we didn't know if we were in the right place or not, and nothing was really happening. I mean, we did some investigating.
We were freaking ourselves out more than anything.
Right. It's just kind of a weird place overall, and even that first. So we went there twice. We went there the first time, and it turns out that we weren't in the right place. So we went back the next weekend to the correct place. But even the first night, weird stuff was going on. Like there's a walking path, and this was. I guess it wasn't super late at night because we went there in like December, so it was like probably 6 or 7. But there was just somebody on the walking path, and we were by it, and they like came like right up to us and then turned around and started running the other way. But like they didn't have any flashlights on or any like reflective gear that runners were wearing. And like we tried to talk to them. I guess you weren't there. It was me and Lane.
Yeah, it was
you
and
were
Lane.
kind of off in the distance. But we tried to talk to them, but they didn't say anything. They probably had headphones in, and it wasn't as weird as it felt. But it felt like a weird place. I guess we did an Estes method that first night, but nothing really weird happened there. So we went back the next week, and that was the main event.
The actual place and the main video that you should go watch. If you haven't, go to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this, you probably know we have a YouTube channel. If you don't, then we have a YouTube channel. Type in PLI, Payton and Levi investigation. Don't type that in. Just type PLI, and then type Wheeler Hole, WHEELER, Hole.
Wheeler.
and it'll pop up. It's us two and our boy Jack.
Lane was in the first part of it. Yep. And then Jack, lovely Jack, made his PLI debut. And
Ply de Bly.
the Ply de Bly.
Yeah, dude, shout out to Jack and Lane for dealing with us.
And Jack, I mean, he like had a great time. Like he said that he really enjoyed it. And then when we took him to the Glore Psychiatric Museum, which was our latest investigation video we released last month, he was like, honestly, I really like. I would love to do the Estes method again.
Yeah.
So that made me happy that he had a good time, because we've talked about this before, but it's easier for me to go places if we have more than, if there's more than two of us.
Yeah.
So that was super nice.
A croup, a crowd, a crowd.
Indeed.
Dude, I need it.
I'm going to open my cherry limeade Ghost.
I'm going to open this key lime LaCroix.
Ghost Energy and LaCroix sparkling water. Please email me back. Not a sponsor.
Wait, sorry.
That's good.
Dang, that's the best flavor of LaCroix.
So probably the first, the first thing that happened, I'm not going to keep referring to it as the second night. The first thing that happened at the Wheeler Hole.
Yeah.
It was on the second night.
From this point forward, anything that we're talking about is going to be from the time Jack was with us and the whole video that you watch.
Yes. The first thing that really happened was just coyotes. There were, every time we would start investigating or doing an Estes session, we would just hear coyotes in the distance. So that was kind of, it was kind of nerve-wracking. Like, it was more nerve-wracking when we weren't hearing them, because like they were howling, and they were, a couple hundred yards away at least from the howls. But when we weren't hearing them howl, then it was like, okay, they might be getting closer, and I was freaking myself out.
It was unsettling, yeah.
Yeah. And it was, like I said, it was in December, so there was dead leaves everywhere. So like every noise was picked up everywhere. Even if it was just the wind, there was a leaf that was blowing or crunching, or a stick that was doing something that was making me freak out. Woods are an interesting place to be, especially for investigations, when we're used to like rooms and strict routes and like, oh, the basement gets you this activity. In this one room, you get the most activity, but in the woods, it's just like open. And like there was some stuff there, like old ruins of buildings that used to be there. So there's like a basement and foundation of buildings. But other than that, it was just like.
And then just like the circle of sacrifices.
Yes.
All the freaking bones.
Yeah, I guess that was really the first thing that we noticed, that there were just bones everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Carcasses?
Carcassai? I don't know.
I'm a grammar guy.
But yeah, like everywhere, there's just carcasses of, what did we deem they were? I think they're mostly deer.
Deer. Oh, deer.
There are a couple other ones.
Maybe coyotes too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Canine jaws.
Bird-looking things?
Yeah.
Reptilian?
That was super weird, because like there was also some in a pile that was burnt.
Yeah.
So like somebody killed an animal and like stripped it of its meat and left the bones and burned it, or it just a bigger animal killed it and left, and we're making everything else up.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Yeah, but it's still odd to see burn residue, remnants of a fire, and bones from an animal. It's just odd.
And like everywhere too. Like there was a concentrated like part of where we went that had a lot of bones, but like you'd walk around and you'd see piles of bones everywhere else. So
yeah. Don't know what to make of that.
Yeah.
But it added on to the unsettled atmosphere of that place with the coyotes and then the bones.
I also love when we can investigate places in the wintertime, because I'm getting
dark.
old.
Yes.
And I'm getting sleepy.
Sorry.
And when it is pitch black dark at 6 o'clock or 5:45, and you can get a solid 7-hour investigation in by midnight.
When did we even leave? I feel like it was past midnight.
It was, because we took a break at like 10 or 11 and we went to Casey's, got some hot chocolate, and
it was so cold.
It was very cold.
Yeah. I bought some gloves.
At Casey's?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I was so cold. It might have been before. I don't remember.
Yeah, we took a break for a little bit. Why did we take a break?
I think we were just cold.
Yeah.
And needed to kind of like reset because we'd walked around for a long time and we had a couple of like open spirit box sessions I think that we did. And maybe we did an Estes session. Maybe it was also after the REM pod incident, which we can talk about.
Yeah, but that is definitely on my list.
Yeah, overall, I think I also didn't really enjoy the fact that there were coyotes just lurking. I felt like I was being stalked. Dude, that place felt like you were just being watched the whole time. It's weird.
Yeah, definitely, like, for me, as I've talked about before, having just the overall paranoia of just being at these places and investigating is like, there's all the things that your imagination can dream up, and then add on top of that, coyotes constantly howling, and then you have in the back of your mind, oh, what if they're stalking us, or what if they're watching us? We went back a third time to the Wheeler Hole in like April or May of that following year. It was sometime like springtime, summertime. Yeah, because it was like really hot out. And like it was weird being back there with like leaves on the trees everywhere, and like everything was full. And one of the reasons I was getting freaked out when we went back, because we only spent probably like 20 minutes there. It was bad. I texted Payton and I was like, dude, let's go back to the Wheeler Hole. Let's do some more Estes sessions and like actually get to know, like figure out what's there. So we went back one night. We're there for like 20 minutes, which sucks because it's a 40-minute one-way drive. Plus some for you because you picked me up. And we left like 20 minutes in because I was getting freaked out. But one of the reasons why I was getting freaked out because of how full it was with the the leaves on the trees, because it felt like we were being watched, but we couldn't see anything. Because at least when we went there the first time in December, you had a good field of view because you could see through all the trees essentially. But being back there when we went there in the summer, you couldn't see past the leaves on the trees. So it definitely felt like we were being watched then. Again, it's all freaking in my head, I'm sure.
In my head.
REM pod. So we've talked about the REM pod before. It's a device that has an antenna that emits a
electromagnetic field.
Yeah. If you guys were watching, you saw me demonstrate that perfectly. But for those listening, I was doing this. Electromagnetic field, and anything that goes into that field, it like the REM pod beeps and colors go off.
It's a glorified motion detector.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Designed for ghost hunting. Like it says paranormal. I don't know what REM stands for. It stands for something paranormal, stupid, I think.
Yeah. Radiate.
Yeah, something. But it's one of those. Whenever you hear us say like a device that was made to go off, I think that's what we refer to the most. It was like it's a motion detector, but it was specifically made and designed for ghost hunting.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's where a lot of our skepticism comes from because it's made to go off. Like,
it's gonna go off.
I mean, like everything is made to go off. Even like our K2 device that detects electricity, that's obviously made to go off. But I just view the REM pod differently because it was made for ghost hunting, and who knows?
It was just so clunky.
But all that said about the REM pod, and we talked about in our video we released last month about the psychiatric museum, we broke the REM pod and threw it away because we hated it. But I guess that was only a couple months after the Wheeler Hole video where we recorded it. But like, how confident were you that the REM pod was actually messing up? Because we moved it, we reset it, we changed the battery, we did everything we could in that video to like debug things, and it was still going crazy.
I think the only reason I think that it was like messing up was because, I don't know, maybe it could be an unknown with some spirit stuff, but like it just wasn't making sense with the questions we were asking. Like, I don't know, even if I didn't know, if I was a ghost and there were these idiots out in this place I was hanging out in, and I was making this thing go off, and they said, hey, can you like step away? Like, I probably would. I don't know. It just didn't make sense with what we were asking to happen. So in my head, I'm just like, oh, this is broken.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things like leading up to that too that made me feel that way. Yeah.
while Peyton was editing the video.
Yeah. Oh, I got goosebumps.
I know, craziest things. So while you were editing, what did you do? How did you like find those things out?
So I was just watching us. It was like kind of the beginning. We were just sort of walking around, and I was just watching it. Like, is anything happening or whatever? I guess I just had the volume up so loud. I don't know. Maybe I was trying to stay awake or something. But that's how I heard it.
And it was even like, it was easier to figure out because when you pulled up the like audio tracking of it.
That was it too.
What's that? It's not called audio tracking. Like you could see the audio.
The wavelength.
Yeah, the wavelength.
The audio wavelength.
Like while we weren't talking and while we weren't like stepping around and crunching leaves, we got EVPs. Electronic voice phenomena. 3 different ones. Two of them we knew exactly what they said. The third one we couldn't tell what they said, I think.
I think there's just 2 in the video, but there might have been 3, but we couldn't justify putting it in the video.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
we couldn't tell. These 2 we knew it wasn't either. It was none of us saying anything, so we were like, okay, who said it?
Yeah, it was very clearly not one of the 3 of us talking because the first one that popped up was while a couple of us were talking, and it's like. It's not wind. It's not crunching of leaves. It's not one of us talking. But the first one goes, no. And then the next one very clearly goes, we hate this.
Yeah.
Or I hate this. And like,
it's
this, not, yeah. Is it we?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's not,
we.
I promise it's not one of us. It was not just wind that suddenly did it. Like maybe if the only one we got was the no, I would think that was wind. But the fact that we got, we hate this.
Yeah.
So clear. Like, I don't like to think about that a lot because of, like, how comfortable I am about my opinions right now. And if I think about capturing audio of something talking to us, like, straight up, I mean, we're not even beating around the bush or, at least I'm not beating around the bush or I'm not, like, doubting it. We got audio from something.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't like thinking about it. And it sucks too because I said a couple episodes ago that like the one thing that would make me believe in ghosts is if I heard something because I was like, well, if I saw something, I'd probably debunk it as a shadow, all that other stuff. But I never thought about the Wheeler Hole EVPs when we were recording that episode. It's just crazy.
Sorry, I opened my mouth like I was going to say something and then didn't because my brain just stopped. I've tried so hard to figure out what it possibly could have been. Yeah. The only thing that in my head, like 1% could make sense of it being something that's not spiritual was, so I don't know how a camera could pick up radio frequencies, but if like it did and the microphone like captured that and it came through.
Right.
But that doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. And because the camera's not designed to do that. And I don't know how anything that's a part of the camera, like it has Wi-Fi capabilities, I guess, but it's not on. I don't know. It's weird. Like we captured something saying those things that we didn't hear while we were there.
Which is like a classic thing. Like you watch any Ghost Adventures episode or something and they like replay a part of the video where they got EVPs and they're like, none of us heard this, but our camera picked it up so clearly. It's like, come on.
And it's like, get out of here, who cares?
And then we finally did it. And then we can immediately be like, even though there's no reason behind this, at least not that we're aware of, but like, oh, it was probably a radio frequency or somebody on a walkie-talkie and our camera picked it up. Like, I don't know how that works, but like I know enough to be like, oh, that's not how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because because of how skeptical we are, that's the first thing we go to is like, well, it was probably something else, you know?
Yeah.
It's just so crazy.
The first time I heard the no, I thought it could have been Jack, but Jack had like just said something.
He just started saying something.
So why would he answer his own question?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
And it sounds so differently and it's not as loud and it's like...
it sounds like Jack after he like drank a lot of like Coke Zero or water, and you ask him a stupid question, he's just like, no. It's kind of what it sounded like. But none of that took place. Anyway.
Even if it did, there's still the we hate this.
Yeah, the we hate this. It's like, what do we get together and all say that at the exact same time?
Right.
No. It was weird. And we were like walking around, like, I guess we were walking around with the K2 when those came through. Mm-hmm. And like in between like us talking to each other and the crunching of the leaves, words coming through. Yeah, it's a phenomenon. There's a lot of stuff in this video, but that is one of the things that like, I was just like, what? That in the middle of the woods where some stuff has been said to take place that's weird and that stuff coming through is a coincidence?
Do you think that's the best piece of evidence we've gotten?
For me, it's the most unexplainable. I don't know if it's the best. I don't know what the best evidence would ever be, except like a spirit picking up our camera and recording itself.
Right. But like that's the most physical evidence I think we can get.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's tough to explain. I think I hate using the word conclusion, but like the conclusion we came to, or the reasoning behind that place that we arrived at. I'm trying to say everything but conclusion. Our assumption is that that place was demonic, and yeah. I think as an outsider looking into this, it's very easy to be like, yeah, okay, that's the third video you guys ever recorded and you encountered a demon. Like, come on. I totally get how that sounds, because like, oh, there's a demon in the middle of the woods. Because first of all, why would there be a demon in the middle of the woods? And like in that specific spot constantly, because we've heard stories about that place that happened probably 5 or 6 years ago. And then we went there and we got stuff. But like, I guess we'll obviously talk about that more a little bit later. Or maybe even now, because we kind of talked about everything else. But the reason we think it's a demon is because of how the spirit box sessions and the Estes method went.
And honestly, too, like, I mean, the only people that have been there are the people that have been there, and probably nobody listening to this has been there, except Jack, if he listens to this, and if he is, gosh, you're so cool. No, that place feels so weird.
I was about to say, I hated when you said that you went back there during the day.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I bet it was completely different. And you were like, no, dude, it felt the exact same. Like in the middle of the day, daylight, sunshine, I was like, oh, I bet it felt different because of just how our imaginations can be at night. And you were like, nah,
it's still super, like, so uncomfortable. And it could, maybe it's the like sort of small town atmosphere that like kind of helps play into that. But no, yeah, it always feels weird.
So we did Estes methods at the end of the video, and then of the night. Kind of the craziest, easily the craziest Estes sessions we've done. I don't think it's the craziest spirit box content we've gotten. I think still to this day, the craziest spirit box content we got was at Nearly Famous when it said each of our names on 2 separate occasions. I don't think anything will ever top that as far as spirit box goes. But in terms of just responses was crazy. And this will really mean a lot more if you guys watch at least the last 10 minutes of that video, because that's where what we're about to talk about, that's where it occurred in the video, is like the last 10 minutes of it. Basically, we think it's a demon is because of how, at least personally, because of how I felt during those Estes sessions. I got pissed off for like seemingly no reason. Like I was shaking, I was getting mad. I really wanted to punch you in the face because I hated how you were talking to me. You just sounded so condescending, and like the way you said things, which was the way you were hearing them, like the tone of how you respond is because is that way because of how you hear them, right? Yeah. And just like the way you were talking to me, and you weren't even talking to me. You were just saying the things you heard. Like I got so freaking mad. I was like, this dude.
I don't know why I'm laughing at this.
I don't know why it got under my skin so much, but I think that's why and like I wanted to keep going. I think at the end of the video, I'm like, I think we should stop because of how badly I want to keep going.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do that for the rest of the night because it was just straight up back and forth of just like I would ask a question or I would say something and then you would say something stupid right back to me. Of like, I would say, we're going to go and you'd be like, can I join? Can I join? And you're like tilting your head back and forth like, you got to be freaking kidding me, dude.
Liar.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, if you want us to leave, say leave. And you're like, liar.
Yeah.
Then I was like, no, we're going to do it. Can I join? It was just so crazy. Like, I don't know if it was just the heat of the moment and like the coincidences that were lining up that got me to be so like annoyed and pissed off. But I think we think that it's that way because it was a demonic place and it was influencing me and it wanted me to fight you or something stupid.
Jack has to break up the fight.
You're right.
We tie him up and throw him in the river.
Oh, hey.
Oh, what a reference. You just made that reference.
How did you feel during the Estes sessions? Like during all the stuff that you were saying, did you think anything about it?
Not at all, dude. Honestly, my brain was just like, stay warm. I was so cold. And I mean, I felt like I was saying the stuff I was saying, and I was like, I don't know if that, what? Why am I saying that? He has a weapon? What? Why am I saying that? Like, whatever. But just saying what I'm saying and try to keep my hands warm. Yeah, I felt pretty fine.
Have either of us ever felt the way, as a receiver, have we ever felt the way the person asking questions has after a Estes session?
I think the Beatty Mansion, the last Estes session we did.
In Eliza's room?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
That one just like felt,
yeah.
I think we both felt weird. But I mean, I feel like as a receiver, most of the time, at least for me, like I'm like, okay, calm down and just focus. Mm-hmm. And then crazy stuff probably happens after that. But yeah, no, I didn't feel any anger or frustration at all.
And like even watching back the video, you could tell how upset I was getting. And like I was like basically shouting the questions back and like, I mean, you could tell it was different.
And then Jack just in the background like, what's going on?
But yeah, it was just, I think our main piece of evidence is how I felt, how influenced I was towards anger is why we think it was demonic. And then also, at one point you said, do you see the weapon? Mm-hmm. And Jack goes, what weapon? And you go, immediately, whatever. And I was sitting there like, amazed, like in shock almost, because I brought a gun because we're in the middle of the woods. It was December. We didn't hear coyotes the first night, did we? When we were in the wrong place?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so. But I brought a gun and I had it and I was carrying it, and I didn't tell you guys about it. It was under like a million layers of clothing, so like you guys couldn't have seen it. But just the fact that you said, "Do you see the weapon?" and then Jack was like, "What weapon?" and you're like, "Whatever." It was like, oh, whatever. You guys talked about him bringing a gun before. Don't give me this BS of what weapon when this guy's clearly carrying one. Yeah. Like, how? Sure, that could be a coincidence.
Dude, when you told me that, I was like, what?
I swear to God, like that very well could be just a coincidence.
My foot's numb. I'm going to have to sit very straight up.
Uncomfortably numb. But like,
that's another thing too, like demons in the sense that they can like read you pretty well. And maybe you just like had like something about you.
Yeah. Or like I adjusted at one point and they were like, oh yeah, or something.
Yeah. No, I didn't even think twice about any of us having anything like that.
And I didn't tell you guys that night at all. I told you I'd like, I don't know, a couple months afterwards probably.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, I wasn't scared, but I was just like, I wanted to keep that a secret for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, and like we've talked about on here before, how like one of the few things we actually know about demons is that they're perceptive sons of guns. So like they could have seen me like adjusted or something, and that's when they're like, oh, do you guys see the weapon? You guys obviously talked about this because he brought a weapon. What weapon? Whatever.
Dude, did you see? It's a trailer for this movie called Late Night with the Devil.
No.
You know the dude that plays one of the psycho guys in The Dark Knight?
No.
He's got the Rachel name tag.
Yeah, he's the one that looks like Cillian Murphy, but he's not. Or
Exactly.
Cillian. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Whatever. Yep.
Yeah.
Peaky Blinder.
What?
Thomas, he's from the show. Whatever. That's another show that he starred in that show.
Oh.
Not this actor, Cillian Murphy.
I think it's Cillian.
Is it? That's gonna be the question. Is it Cillian or Killian?
Comment down below if you think it's Cillian or Cillian Murphy, and if you've seen Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
great
I have
movie.
not yet.
Don't watch it with your kids.
Okay, don't have any.
Boobies.
I'm not gonna watch that. No, there's this show. It's called Late Night with the Devil, and he's like this talk show host, and it looks like it's back in like the 70s or 80s or one of the two, and they bring out. He's trying to get like higher numbers, it looks like, but they bring this girl who can like gets possessed by the devil, and they can talk to the devil. Yeah, it was a really good trailer, and I'm gonna watch it. But I bring that up because we were talking about demons, and it looks aggressive at points, and I think that for me, yeah, this place, dude, I don't know. We've been to some weird places, and that's the one that's felt the most uncomfortable.
That one felt way more uncomfortable than the Sally house.
Yeah, which is odd. Well, I don't know. Going upstairs and taking the last few B-roll shots was uncomfortable.
And like obviously there's just an overall unsettledness about the Sally house. But like in the moment nothing happened there.
Yeah. No, yeah, dude. Wheeler Hole tops that place in weirdness.
Which it could be just because like that was the second place we ever went. Or
Was
the
it
second actual
Sally?
investigation that we ever did. So like we just weren't good at it.
Yeah.
Granted, the Wheeler Hole was fifth investigation, so it's not like that we gained all this knowledge and experience in the span of 3 investigations over the span of a year and a half. But yeah, it felt more weird than the Sally house, and I don't know. That's weird to think about.
Dude, yeah, this place still, to this day, for me, I'm just kind of like, dude, I don't even know. Like, it's just an odd place because I don't know how to explain the things that happened, and just the feeling that you get there is so weird. I want to know what's there.
Oh, yeah. I want to go back there. I want to bring other people with us.
We want to go back everywhere. But
Exactly.
specifically this place, for sure.
Because
You know what else? Before we move into this next section.
do you know what Ghost energy drinks and LaCroix have in common?
Nothing.
0 sugar.
Oh, nice.
Not a sponsor. You know what else isn't a sponsor? The owner of the guy who's about to get his brains beat out by Mike Tyson in a few months.
Prime hydration.
Not a sponsor.
It could be though. Is it Logan or Jake?
I don't remember. That's the same person.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. You're right. I don't care who owns it. It still tastes good.
Yeah, and that's.
But you won't
yeah.
try it.
So
Hold on, I can't wait to sniff this.
I bet it smells like strawberry watermelon.
I am detouring this episode, but that's okay. Oh dang, that smells really good. Do you want to have the first sip?
No thanks. I really think Mike Tyson is just gonna like brutally injure. I think Jake Paul's the boxer. Logan Paul's the other guy.
I think they both do that stupid stuff.
Yeah, because didn't they box each other or something?
I don't remember.
Excuse you, dog.
Either way, Tfue could probably fight both of them and win.
Gosh.
This I've had some of these before. Oh, I'm just getting it everywhere. This is an okay flavor.
Nice. Is that the first time you had that flavor?
Yes.
Very nice.
Anyway, stay hydrated whenever you're going to hunt ghosts, or if you need some energy.
Hydrate or dihydrate?
What better energy drink to sponsor a paranormal investigation duo than Ghost?
That's what I'm saying. Email me back.
Have you seen any Jinxie clips?
Yeah.
Whenever he just, like, a profile picture pops up and he...
Have you watched Sketch at all?
Yeah.
What's up, brother? That's incredible. They have a bunch of videos. They like did a bunch of stuff together lately.
Yeah.
You've probably seen some of those videos too.
The golfing one, have you seen any of that?
Yes.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
And-
Lana. Easy over there.
Anyway, all of that to say, I'm so sorry. Gonna say something important. Oh, we want to go back with a lot of people?
Yeah. Because I need to watch the video of us going back there the third time.
I need to send it to you.
Because it was like, I don't think anything crazy happened there.
I think I said some stuff.
It definitely did. Like, because we did an Estes method when we went back there for like 5 minutes. And I was like freaking out because you were the receiver and I was asking questions. And I was like, my head was on a swivel. We were by ourselves. My head was on a swivel because I kept hearing things, and like I mentioned earlier, there's leaves everywhere, so my visibility was poor. It felt weird. There was a car parked when we turned in with weird people by it. Like as soon as we got there, I was like, ooh, I don't like this.
I will say from what I remember, that Estes session for me too also felt a little weird. Like I felt kind of uncomfortable not being able to see anything or hear anything. Yeah.
So yeah, I want to go back there and do more Estes sessions. Obviously, we can do other stuff too. Like the K2 never went off.
We can bring a Ouija board.
I don't think we could. I mean, we could start doing that stuff. Like I know that's something I said that I would never do, and that's like the one thing that if you ask mediums or you ask, I guess just like professionals in this industry, they're like, oh yeah, you don't want to mess with Ouija boards. But like. Demons can be anywhere they want without the need of a conjuring to happen.
A piece of wood.
And, oops.
Oh, that's fine, dude.
Oops. And ghosts probably don't exist. Maybe.
They aren't real, that's for sure.
I hope not. But like, what could I almost said a conjuring board. What could a Ouija board do?
We could get like a Ouija board blanket. We could get that Jesus Christ one that I found. There's a Ouija board out there that lets you talk to Jesus.
Right, and like in the same fashion that you don't need a conduit or a medium to talk to Jesus. You don't need a conduit or medium to talk to a demon because they can do whatever. And like, do you believe in like people can you know how at the Beatty Mansion, Marianne said that people have open portals and stuff? I'm not going to ask you if you believe in portals because we talked about that already and they're weird. But do you believe people can conjure things to then like show up at a specific location and start like quote unquote haunting it?
Like summon something?
Yeah.
Like
yes, sorry.
I just thought about the third Conjuring movie where like its whole spoiler ahead, the whole plot is like that guy who's cursed or whatever.
Yeah,
and
the thing they found in the crawl space.
Yeah, then they have to go like end the curse and like kill the lady or whatever that's doing the curse. Like that's like witchcraft at that point, which I mean, there's whole books and groups that talk about like the black arts and that kind of stuff. So it's like, I don't know.
I mean, I think witchcraft is real. I think it's not as like.
I feel like I got a nose hair. Uh-oh.
You probably have lots of nose hairs.
I do, but I grabbed one. Oh!
The sound that made when you yanked it out of your nose, and the fact that I could see it. Holy moly! Don't ever do that again.
You're a nose, Harry. I grabbed it. What was I gonna do? Like not pull it out?
But like, I think witchcraft is a real thing. But I think
spit all over you.
I think no. I think it's overly simplified. It's overly complicated because the simpleness of it is that it's just somebody that is getting powers from the devil.
Do you think any witchcraft took place at the Wheeler Hole?
I don't know. What do you mean witchcraft took place? Like they did like spells and conjurings and stuff?
Do you think anybody like maybe like, I don't know. I feel like people probably still, weird groups and cultish organizations make sacrifices and do that kind of stuff. So do you think something like that, would it surprise you if something like that took place there or does?
No, it wouldn't surprise me because there's some weird people out there.
That's true.
And I think, again, to draw more conclusions, it's kind of funny how similar these things are in my mind now. But like, you know, Scripture says where two or more gathered together in my name, there I will be with them. That verse is completely taken out of context, like almost all the time. But in the same way, it's like, not that you have to summon Jesus or summon a demon, but if you're gathering together and doing stuff, then yeah, they're going to be there because you're not that you're manifesting it. Maybe you are manifesting it. But yeah, like cults, like demonic cults that do stuff, like obviously the demons are with them while they're doing it. not because they summoned them or conjured them up, but it's just like they can go wherever and do whatever they want. So they're just there with them. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that stuff happened there.
I would like to figure out a way. That sounds kind of dangerous, but a way. Never mind. I don't know how to explain it to where it doesn't sound like I'm saying I want to conjure a demon.
I mean, that would be interesting.
I wish there was a there probably isn't, but like a safe way to like open up that line of communication without being like, hey, is there anything here?
TFIL does it, the overnight channel, Elton Castee. I mean, I think he has at least 2 videos out there of like being like he has like this group with him that they're summoning something to possess him. If you whine one more time.
You know those videos where like animals just like stare at something?
Right. She's just staring at me right now. You're a good doggy when you're not whining. And yeah, it's like obviously stuff is dramatized, and we've dramatized stuff before, maybe. I don't even know if I would go that far to say that. But like content creators dramatize stuff, and I think that it was all BS when Elton was getting possessed, quote unquote. But there's no reason to not do it, because like I said, it doesn't change anything. Like demons can do whatever they want without having to be summoned somewhere. So it's not like any ritual we perform or a Ouija board thing we do or drawing a pentagram and lighting candles or something means anything. Like it doesn't, right?
My belly just went.
I heard it. But like that stuff doesn't mean anything. Like it's scary and people are like, oh, it summons them, but like they're already there if they want to be.
You get told like don't mess with that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, this is my what would they call it? This
closing
is my
argument. Closing
argument, sure, for this. Whatever. At the end of the day,
Your Honor.
Your Honor, if
Wendy Morning Dew?
if I think overall all this stuff is how we have free will. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. Gosh darn it, man. I tell you what. I'm back on my foot, so hopefully it doesn't go numb. We have the ability to either close ourselves off or open ourselves up to things. Mm-hmm. And so even if hypothetically, I'm not saying I'm going to, even if I went to the Wheeler Hole freaking by myself and drew a pentagram, lit some candles, burned it, and I said, Satan, come here or whatever. Like, if I know still, like, where, like, I sit with my salvation and who has my soul, Lana?
She was like, what?
Could a demon possess somebody to go and kill me? Sure. I don't know. But, like, sweet. Sounds kind of dark, but anybody that knows me probably knows that, like, I'm super excited for the day I die because that means I'm not on Earth anymore, and that's pretty sweet. I'm not trying to die. I need to, like, really clarify. I'm not trying to die, but I don't really fear that day, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not going to do anything I just said.
Nothing you can do about it.
That's true. There's nothing I can do about it. I shouldn't just sit at home all day and not do anything.
Why not?
Got to go live my life. Well, because I want to go experience life.
What if life is just sitting around and not doing anything? Life is whatever you want it to be.
That's true. I guess that could be your life. But then you're not, like, interacting with people. And I think part of life is interacting with people, no matter how you look at life.
Fair.
Or demons. Maybe you're at home all day alone interacting with demons.
We have free will.
It's true. I hate you. I'm just kidding. So, I mean, all that to say is I think you could mess with a Ouija board and try to summon a demon, but, like, if your openness to it is whatever, I don't need to say the exact same thing I just said.
And
what? What is in this?
Oh gosh. This is going to be totally contradictory. I think a lot of things that I do and say are because of how unknown this stuff still is. But like, so I say that it doesn't matter. Like, you can't, one Why are my words not as loud as your words are?
Because I'm right next to my microphone.
Are you getting like really close to it? Uh-oh.
No, it's fine, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's gonna be contradictory, but like I say that none of this matters. Like demons can do wherever they want, go wherever they want. You don't have to summon a demon by a Ouija board or a ceremony or a ritual, or whatever, or like make a place haunted by doing stuff there. I say all that like that doesn't matter, but then I can't tell you how many times I've thought about busting out the spirit box here in my home and like listening to it, or have Jessica do an Estes method with me, because I don't want to do that here, because I don't want to accidentally haunt the house. So it's contradictory, because I just said that I don't believe that that's a thing that can happen. I don't think that things can become haunted. Like there's presences everywhere by demons, and if ghosts exist, then they're probably everywhere too. It's like nothing you can do specifically draws it in and like focuses it in a specific area. But I say that and believe that, and then I'm like, but my house, I'm not going to do any of that stuff here, because you never know. Which I guess isn't contradictory, because we don't know any of this crap. Like we never know. Like we could say these things and believe that, oh, I don't think you can haunt something. Like you can manifest a haunting, but maybe.
I do think stuff, just like this is your home, you're kind of attached to it. So I think that maybe demons and ghosts, if they're real, like to linger in places that they like, around people that they like. Which is why I mean, you think about the Sally house. That's why whatever's there was there, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe Satan sent it on a mission. It was like, go torment this family, and now it's just at that house. Or like, dude, all that sounds so baloney.
But I mean, in the end, it kind of worked out for the Pickmans, because they are believers now. So like, yeah, that could have been the goal. Or they're supposedly believers. I didn't fact check it.
Never talked to them.
But like, if the goal of sending a demon to haunt a family is to like draw them away from God, and it ended up like getting them so far the other way, to quote somebody,
Satan's a loser.
Yeah, like womp womp. I would like to have an episode sometime about Christianity.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
I think that would be good.
Just do it right now.
No,
2 hour long episode.
I was about to say we're sitting at 51 right now, and there's a whiny little dog over there behind the camera. Matter. That's what she keeps doing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wheeler Hole is a really weird place.
Wheeler Hole.
But my dad works at Epic Games, so we're gonna get it all figured out.
That's not Black Spider-Man.
It's weird to think, because I really believe that place kind of screwed me up more than the Sally House did.
It messed with me. Yeah.
And the fact that we freaking got the EVPs of, no, we hate this. Definitely check out the Wheeler Hole video on YouTube, because everything that we have said will make a lot more sense when you see it. Yep. And if you hear those EVPs for yourself, if you are skeptical and want a raw audio file sent your way rather than the edited video, feel free to ask for it, because we didn't dramatize anything, we didn't overhype anything, and we didn't make anything up. Like, it was straight up like I was pissed off at you because you were a sassy son of a gun, and we heard those EVPs, and I think Jack could also definitely corroborate everything we're saying. So not to sound defensive about it, but like, I don't know, like I said earlier, it's just crazy to me. If I were on the outside looking in, I'd be like, man, you guys, their third video is they encountered a demon. It's like, yeah, okay. In the woods.
Well, because we also think that.
I mean, we think that. Yeah.
we think that. Yeah. That's why it's called. That's why it says that. Yeah. Heck, I think we've encountered a demon everywhere.
Potentially.
Encountered a demon at Walmart, bro. Maybe.
Was it those little kids behind us while you were looking at controllers?
No, it was the mom coughing everywhere.
Oh, gosh.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Any final thoughts about the Wheeler Hole specifically, or...
Another reason this place gives me the demon vibes is from one of the Open Spirit Box sessions. God left? She's like, what? What?
Yeah.
What? I don't remember what question was asked or if we were just listening. But yeah, I mean, hearing that's just like, what? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Because didn't we hear Jack said God at one point?
Yeah, in one of his essays.
Was that at the Wheeler Hole?
Yeah.
Okay. He's just like God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got names, like some names there.
Yeah, we got Sarah Al,
Al,
which you
not
made
Alf.
sure to say Al again to make sure we didn't hear Alf.
And then you went, did you say Alf? No, I said Al.
Ow.
Ow.
Al, Sarah. I thought we heard another name.
Stevens?
Yeah, Stevens. That's right.
Stevens. There was a chick's name too. Sarah?
I said that. Sorry. I bet you felt the way I felt when you were talking to me that way. And again, not even talking to me. You were just saying the words you heard in the spirit box.
I want to punch you in the face.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't. It's not in this video. It's not in the video, but because nothing happened, I just got freaked out. But we did separate for like 15 minutes, maybe. I went off into the woods by myself, but off into the woods was like 100 feet.
Oh, that's right. I was with Jack still, but you went off. Yeah, that's right.
I brought my phone with me, and I was just like
talking.
talking.
Yeah, you did a little recording.
It's just on my phone. It was not anymore. I think I deleted it. But it's just me getting scared at my breath. Like, nothing happens.
Right.
But yeah. Thought I'd mention that. There's stuff that happens that doesn't end up in the video. Mainly just...
Thankfully.
Yeah, stupid stuff like that. I don't think I have anything else really to say about it. It's just a weird place. If you're ever in Forsyth... Dude, there's other places in Forsyth that Nick, our coworker... His name is Nick, whatever.
Oh yeah, like that little downtown area past the bridge. Like when you go down the hill, we turned right, but if you go straight,
there's
like
that. There's also
park.
He said one of his buddies. I don't know if it's the guy that kind of became obsessed with the Wheeler Hole place, which he had a buddy that like got obsessed with that place, or it was another one of his friends who they have a house that like it's haunted or possessed or whatever.
That's right.
And he said something that freaked him out once was like he was like going to his place and up at the top window there was like a misty figure. So, but yeah, I think he said like he was in their house once and like the remote on the like coffee table just started like spinning.
Oh my
gosh. Yeah, that happens. It's like, what? So if we could ever get into that house, that'd be kind of cool. Or other places too. Maybe we could bring Nick with us.
That would be cool.
Nick and Daisy.
Yes. Bring Daisy.
Sacrifice the baby. I'm kidding.
Sacrifice the baby.
I'm kidding. Good Lord, I would never.
Leave a like and a comment and subscribe on this video, and please do the same on our actual Wheeler Hole investigation video. It definitely helps us out a lot. On Spotify, please give us a rating and answer the poll question.
Yeah, what do you want? Let's discuss this now so everybody can hear. What should the poll question be? Is it Cillian or Killian?
Are Ouija boards bad?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Bank Tavern video.
Yo, dude, the trailer will be done, I swear.
Cool.
And the video will be done, I swear.
Bank Tavern in Billings, Missouri. Keep an eye out on our YouTube channel and Instagram page for updates on our next investigation video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.